Today's MrAusAdventure motovlog is proudly brought to you by Suzuki V-Strom, celebrating 10 years of adventure touring. Well, g'day there guys. Today I'm going to talk to you all about my trusty steed, my Suzuki V-Strom, my 2008 Suzuki V-Strom. So this is a topic I've been meaning to talk about for quite some time now, and I'm going to do a little bit of a walk around of the bike, and I've been meaning to do this for a long time, but I was only reminded of it just recently. Last week someone else said, when are you going to do a walk around of your V-Strom? And I went, oh yeah, a few people have asked me over the years whether I'm going to do that or not, and I keep meaning to, but yeah, it just hasn't happened. So today I'm going to do it for you. So this is it, 2008 Suzuki V-Strom 650. It's pretty much as I bought it. Put it up on the center stand for you. I haven't done any modifications to it. I bought it in 2011. It was pretty much like this. It had done 3,000 kilometers, and I've now done about 18,000 kilometers. So I've done 15,000 kilometers on it in about 2.5 years, which is not a lot, but I did spend a lot of time off with a broken collarbone and been quite busy with a lot of other stuff, so I haven't really ridden it quite as much as I would like to. So it came with the top box on there. That's not a standard item. The other non-standard items are the hand guards here. They're really good for keeping the cold weather off you. Most of the time it's hot here though, so I don't really know if I need them. The bash plate down below, that was already on there. One of the things I wanted was a bash plate on there, because otherwise you've got this oil filter. Don't know how well you can see that in there, but the oil filter is exposed to the elements, so rocks can come up and smash into the oil filter if you haven't got a bash plate on there. So I really wanted one with a bash plate. I really wanted one with a top box, and I didn't really care about the crash bars or not, but I quite like them, and it's a handy place to mount your GoPro. As you can see, I've got the GoPro bracket there. Other features about the V-Strom: the screen is adjustable. You've got to unscrew it all and go unscrew the Allen keys and lift it up and down. It's not simple, and it doesn't really do a hell of a lot. It's a pretty good bike for touring, commuting. It's okay in the twisty hills. It's not the best around the corners. Obviously designed for a little bit of off-road adventuring. It's got a lot of suspension trouble. The front forks are quite long, so under heavy braking the nose does dive down in corners. So that's one negative about the V-Strom in the twisty hills, but it does handle them quite well. So yeah, the gravel roads, it holds up really well on gravel roads with that suspension. Great for long distance touring. Longest I've done on this saddle in one day is 994 kilometers on a 5,200 kilometer round trip over 2 weeks. That was awesome for that. On that trip I had the top box, I had a tank bag on there, and I had another wet bag on here, a waterproof bag, just with some stuff in it, all my wet weather gear and piece of shoes and stuff like that. It's a perfect bike. It just goes and goes and goes. I haven't had any issues with it other than crashing it, but I find it to be really, really reliable. It starts every time. Well, I had to replace the battery on it, but the battery was 5 years old, so that's what else I put on there. The only thing I put on the bike was the center stand. It didn't have a center stand on it. It just had the normal kickstand. I put the center stand on, which required a little bit of modifying to get it on around the bash plate. I had to grind away a bit at the bash plate to make it fit. It's a super reliable bike. Go anywhere really. You wouldn't want to take it crazy off-roading like the Super Adventure Squadron do. It's a bit heavy for that. Now, they are a bit top heavy. That's the other negative thing about the V-Strom. They're very top heavy. As you can see, there's not a lot of weight down below. It's all up high. You got a 22 litre tank. So I normally get around 400 kilometres out of a tank, depending on what style of riding I'm doing. Sometimes it's more than 400, sometimes it's a little bit less, but it's usually around the 400 mark. All the gauges, all analog. There's nothing digital there except for the clock. Pretty basic. There's not really a lot there. There's no ABS on this. The ABS did come out in 2008, I believe. I will stick up a little note saying yes or no on the video if I'm correct or not. But this didn't have. This was the cheaper version. Didn't have the ABS. I was struggling for cash at the time, and when I bought it, this was about as much as I could sort of fork out. So I couldn't afford the extra dough for the ABS model. I'll just give you a little bit of a rundown on my tyres. They're not the stock standard tyres that the bike came with. These are the Michelin Pilot Road 3s. These are incredible tyres. I love them. I've done 9,000 kilometres on these, and as you can probably see there's still a fair bit of tread on them. I was told at the shop that some guys were getting 15,000 kilometres out of them. Not sure what that is in miles, probably about 10,000 miles. So I didn't really believe him at the time, but I do now, because I've done a lot of kilometres on these, and they're holding up really, really well. I don't throw it into the corner like a super bike or anything like that, like a proper sports bike. I'm a little bit slower through the corner, so I'm not getting so much wear and tear from the tyres. The front one's in really good condition. Back one's a little bit more, probably a little bit worn, because you got all the drive there. But I'm really happy with the tyres. Super grippy in the wet. I highly recommend them. Yeah, all sorts of conditions. They hold up really well on gravel roads. As well as can be expected for a road-based tyre. The grooves are enough to get rid of a little bit of smaller gravel, and obviously get rid of the water really well. So yeah, that's the V-Strom in a nutshell. I don't really know what else to tell you about it. If you're interested in V-Stroms, stay tuned for my next video, because that's going to be featuring some more V-Stroms. Stay tuned for that one. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, MrAusAdventure. Go on, do it. Thanks guys, see ya.